home soil for this one. How does it feel to be able to walk out there in front of a home crowd and fight on British soil?
Yeah, it's amazing. So obviously, my debut was UFC London. That was perfect. Such a great atmosphere. So UFC Manchester, even closer to home. I'm expecting a great crowd. So there's nothing like watching that crowd. It's amazing.
Do you think the time, everyone's talking about the time, the fact it's in the middle of the night, do you think that will harm the atmosphere at all, or do you think the Brits will have enough beer and stuff to keep themselves going?
Yeah, but the atmosphere might be better. It might work out better for the crowd. So I was thinking sometimes the prelims can be a little bit quieter. But if it was me, I would just get there early, so you're there all day rather than sitting about waiting till 3 a.m. for the main card to wait. I would go there earlier, so it might be like a busier crowd earlier on than usual.
Obviously, right, the fighting at home is cool, but it does come with extra pressure. There's more fans and friends around. Do you think about that, or do you just think, no, I have to focus on the positives and make sure that I take this moment for what it is and enjoy it?
Yeah, I just enjoy it. Like I said, these moments, like Manchester, maybe it's once a year it's going to come to the UK, but it's not guaranteed I'll be on it. So it's amazing to get on these UK cards, and I'll try my best to get on them all the time, but no other pressure. People are still watching. If you get beat, they're still watching the telly regardless. So.
And when you look at the fight itself, how are you expecting him to come in and approach the fight against you, and how do you think you find success on Saturday?
Yeah, I can just go off his previous fights. Everyone's different and everyone's getting better. He looks like more of a kickboxer fight. He's just tough and durable. I think I'm loads better than him everywhere, like technically much better, but I do think he's aggressive and he's definitely tough, which can make for a hard, gritty fight. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a harder fight than people expecting, but I can't see him beating us.
Obviously, you've put some time on the mats with Tom and Phil DeFries and these bigger heavyweights. Tom's always said he didn't realize how beneficial it was until he was in there with a lot of bigger guys. He was training with smaller guys. So is it the same with you, that he kind of has this collective of heavyweights that can, you can push each other rather than having to train with these smaller guys in the gym?
It's completely different. My first gym, I was training with welterweights, middleweights, probably at the biggest, and I thought I was amazing. I was doing okay, but I thought I was amazing. I moved and trained with Big Phil about 5 or 6 years. He lives right round the corner to me, really. I was training through Seeing with Andrew Fisher. And I still remember the first session with him. He was the first big guy, more experiences. It was awful. I remember thinking, oh God, this isn't as nice as when you train with the welterweights and middleweights. You just need to. I need to train with bigger guys. Got me loads better. Some of the harder fights I potentially wouldn't have won if I was still training with lighter guys. And then to go and train with Tom and like 8 or 9 great heavyweights, people from all over the world that's travelling there. It's amazing. I don't think there's anyone in the world now with heavyweights as good as Tom's gym.
If everything goes well for you and Tom on Saturday, do you think you'll find a more of an influx of heavyweights just kind of coming in, even from the U.S., to like come train with you guys just for the bodies in there?
Yeah, I think people are messaging Tom's dad Andy all the time to get in. It's like, that's how you get in through Andy. He must decide whether you're worthy or not to get in. But sure. I think big guys, you need to be around other big guys fighting. I think it's easy to be winning because the pool's quite small. Then you might get beat a few, and then you realise, it's completely different when you're in there fighting bigger people. I think the grappling's different. Obviously, the punches are a lot heavier and different. And you just need a good team around you. I think you're lucky to get like one good guy with you, but down there to have like 7, 8, and like some absolute monsters. Some of the guys down there are absolutely huge. And they can all fight. It's not like some gyms where you go, you might have one hard training round, and you look around and like the next round's a bit of a rest round there. Everyone's trying to kill you or crush you and squish you. So it's so good to be around. It is.
Then a couple unrelated to this fight. I don't know if you saw, but some new rule changes were passed on November 1st. 12-6 elbows will now be allowed in the fight, and then they've redefined what grounded opponents are. You need another part of your body besides just your hand for a grounded opponent. I'm curious, what do you make of these rule changes going into effect?
Is that for Saturday? Well,
no, it's November 1st. November 1st.
Good job. I didn't have a clue. I was thinking. I did see the 12-6 elbow. I definitely saw it. I think that was a silly one to have in, really. It's no different than any other elbow, I didn't think. The grounded one, yeah, it's probably better. Sometimes people are playing the rules, but what's now, so with 2 hands be classed as
so you need your hand and then like an elbow or a shoulder or a knee. It just has to be another part of your body. It doesn't necessarily have to be 2 hands.
Yeah, it's probably better to me get out there a bit quicker and knee to the head. But yeah, I think the rules have always been a bit sketchy, haven't they, especially to the grounded opponent. So it probably is good universally. Everyone knows exactly what's happening. Less room for error and mistakes in there.
Then one final one for me. I think I know your answer, but how do you see the main and co-main event playing out on Saturday or Sunday morning, I guess?
I think the 2 British guys have got it. Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, I no, I don't know Edwards. I don't train with him, but I think he'll win. Obviously, train with Tom. Like, I wouldn't be surprised again if Tom just first 2 minutes we won again. Like, no disrespect to Curtis Blade. I think he's a great fighter, but I think Tom's something special. He is.
Mick down here. It's been a perfect start to UFC career. Obviously, the win over Jamal Pogues and then Kai Machado and then obviously Muhammad Usman. How would you assess everything so far? Has the UFC journey been everything that you expected?
Yeah, it's been amazing being around, being part of this. Obviously, 3 wins. That's nice as well to have. Made a few mistakes in there. I'm just still getting better. I hope every fight I look a little bit better than the last one. That's my main goal. I'm still making loads of mistakes in there. I'm still learning, but I felt this camp's been amazing. Everything's starting to click for us. There's been no excuses Saturday. I felt like this is the best I've ever felt for a fight.
What mistakes, you mentioned it twice, what mistakes do you think you've made?
Oh, just little silly ones, like in the fight, like after I've looked back, maybe it's hit with a punch I shouldn't have been hit with, like just going back to the last one, Usman hit it was that big right hand early on in the first round, like I should never got hit with that. I think 90% of the time that doesn't hit us. It did, gives a little wobble, a little wake up call, and then after that I don't feel like he really hit us again after that. It's just like little silly mistakes. That he could have won the fight off that big right hand and that would have been me beat and him celebrating a fourth win in the UFC. Just little things like that. I feel like I'm still learning the job. I'm quite young. This is me 10th fight I think now professionally, so it's not many, so just keep getting better, that's all I can do.
Where do you think a win puts you in the heavyweight picture? Because obviously heavyweight, you put together like a 4 or 5 win streak, you can be catapulted right up there.
Yeah, I think I've always said I like to take my time. Like I said, I'm still learning, but I do understand that heavyweight, you haven't got the time to take it slower. I do think that the fight maybe puts us in the top 15, or maybe he's a lower top 15 opponent for the next one. So I'll just see what happens. I'm not really sure how the rankings and everything like that work, but I'm just happy with the UFC, how they've matched me, how the fights have played out. So see what them offers. Hopefully come about November time, no injuries. Maybe try and get another win in November, December time, and then get another win at the end of the year. That'd be great.
Cheers, man.
Mick, Tom has been saying to the media and myself prior to this fight his strange hand strengthening methods of dipping his hands and knuckles in petrol. Has he been sharing that with the rest of the gym? And I still don't believe him, to be honest. Can you confirm if that is true?
I haven't seen him do it, but he's got some strange things. It might be working. He said his hands are feeling harder. We'll see Saturday night, Sunday morning for him. If he gets into the early round stoppage, it must be working.
It might end up becoming a pre-fight ritual.
I'll get on it. Everyone will get on it.
Before signing with the UFC, you had 3 straight knockouts. I don't want to use the word pressure, but do you want that again in the UFC now? I know you don't go searching for it, but it'd be nice to get a nice bonus, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would be amazing. The finishes, just to be a first round finish like what Tom gets would be amazing. In and out, done, lovely. Like I've said, I've never searched for it. Maybe it's the high level opposition. Maybe it's me playing a little bit safe sometimes, but I've been working on my game. I do think I'll get the finish Saturday.
Do you have a roadmap in terms of big names that you want to be competing against over the next couple of years? Because the division is always stacked, isn't it?
Not really. Like I said, the UFC matches quite fairly. I don't think I'm at the point yet where I'm going to be like calling names out. Maybe, like I said, the next one that'll be a shout if I'm pushing the top 15 and maybe he's calling out people like that. But at this moment in time, I feel like just get what you're given and just fight and just win and keep winning.
And finally, just in terms of where Tom goes from here, if he wins on Saturday night, like you are hoping so, would you like to see him go up against Alex Pereira next? Because the rest of the top heavyweights are nearly all matched up, and obviously we know the plan is for Jones and Miocic.
Yeah, well, I think Tom would generally fight anybody, but it would be nice for him to get like a super fight, just to get him loads of money. That would be nice, just to have him loads of money, and then that would be good. I do think Tom could beat anybody in the planet at the minute. I think he's super confident. He would fight anybody. So he said he maybe his weight about, but he likes fighting. So I don't know, Pereira maybe if that would be amazing for him. Amazing fight.
Do you think he translates well to the heavyweight division, Alex Pereira, with that knockout power?
It's definitely harder because the guy's bigger, especially where the grappling's concerned, I would say. But I think he can knock out anybody. He can knock heavyweights out, no problem. And I think his striking style, he definitely could do well at heavyweight. Maybe his people would be shooting him more and pinning him down. He might struggle there, but he's a big guy, so if he comes up and puts the weight on, I think he'll do fine.
Best of luck Saturday night.
Thank you.
Mick right here. I don't know if you saw Lucas's fight in Vegas a couple of years ago. He was coming out and he was high-fiving the fans, and he accidentally knocked a fan's beer and it went everywhere. How do you think that would go if he did that here?
I didn't say that, no. I think he'd have to buy him a pint back, wouldn't he? He'd have to buy him a beer. that would be the honourable thing to do. But no, I didn't say that. I'll be. To be fair, fans love stuff like that. It might be a good story for me to tell, but I wouldn't be happy, especially the prices the biggest in these arenas. Like £10 a pint, that'd be good.
I think they stop serving beers at 2 o'clock as well.
Oh, they're stopping it, are they?
I think, well, obviously UK law.
I've not got like a late licence.
I don't know if I'll have it later.
Oh God, bit we got to then. Done.